You'd all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag. It's all right. I want to welcome everyone to this June the 1st meeting of the Board of School Trustees for the Metropolitan School District of Mount Vernon. We will start with the recognition of delegations. Persons wishing to be recognized to speak on any agenda item or to be heard as part of a section of the agenda dealing with delegation or citizen comments are to identify themselves by name and the point on the agenda where they wish to be recognized. Us? Right. Anyone else? All right, Lois, we have that noted. And we have a presentation by the FFA. Sure.
Because that just helps prepare.
For older, of course. Not really. Other say, so that's like the blood test they use to detect the disorder, but it's not sensitive enough to catch really small minuscule amounts of the hormone, and it is not advanced to detect the disorder early on. So my goal was to improve it. So I used 11 strategies, and I tested all of them in our ratio testing, and then I moved on. RP. So streptotividin biotin is basically, it has a gene specific to it. It's called a tetramer. So what happens is it's able to connect to more ACTH molecules so that you can detect more of really small amounts of the hormone. So that's working. Also, when doing this is before I conducted the experiment at Western Kentucky University, but before I had to purchase all the reagents and the supplies, and then it was. So the reagents we had to use protection antibodies, protein Gs, streptozidin, biotin, create a wash buffer, and SA diluent so you could reduce the background noise. Then, besides that, we had to use. So what we went about doing is at 20 horses, right? So 10 of the horses was the first group. They were under the age of 15. And then the other group is older, so they're above the age of 15. But we use mainly quarter horses, COAs, standardbreds, and we had a Clydesdale and a few other. So you take, it's called a butterfly needle. So you insert it in the horse's jugular vein, attach the tube, attach a EDTA tube, and then the tube automatically fills up with blood. EDTA tube is basically standard in most testing situations. The EDTA is called an anticoagulant. So the anticoagulant would mix in with the blood and preserve it. So because the hormone is super fragile and we were on a time constraint for the project and for the sample itself, we had 4 hours, and after that 4 hours, we wouldn't be able to use the sample. So I took those samples and I centrifuged it and I collected the plasma. So I pipetted out the plasma into my centrifuge tubes, and then flash froze them in liquid nitrogen, and then I put them in our freezer, which was at negative 20 degrees Celsius. So we did long term. So after we had that, me and Michigan both went down to Western Kentucky University, and there are 2 phases to the project itself. So the first phase is the ratio testing. I had to find the best ratio that would work in the blood samples, because if I used too much of a detection antibody, it would give me false readings, and if it gave me too little, it would be too quiet of a signal. So in this experiment, we use what's called a sandwich immunoassay. So what happens is the antibodies are on top of each other and they lock down on top of the, like that's the molecular. So we use a CLIA. So CLIA is chemical luminescent immunoassay. So it doesn't turn the ACTH into a different color. It just turns it into light, basically. And then I would take that and I would put it in a machine, and the machine would be able to tell me how much light is produced. It's called RLU values. The machine is not going to tell me how much ACTH is in that blood sample. The machine is going to tell me how much light is produced. That is why I have ACTH standards. So that's kind of the most important part of this project. That's kind of what helped us with the data. The ACTH standard was our known amount of the hormone. So then when you have a known amount of hormone and you compare it against the blood samples, we don't know how much ACTH is in it. We're not able to test that. The machine won't do that for us. So that's why you make the graph that has all the standards on it, and then you could compare them so you can figure out the concentration in it. So the ratio testing, you take your 96 well plate, which is in this little picture. It's really tiny, but it has 96 little wells in it, and you put in your standards and then your ratios, and then you put that in the thermometer, and the one that worked best was the 1 to 2 molar ratio. That ratio, and I used it in the blood sample process. That process, the second phase of it, I took the blood samples with the standards and with the ratio, and we tested all 20 horses, the young horses and the older horses. So from there, after I was able to do that, then you would want to do an analysis on it. So you'd have to calculate your coefficient of variation, your LLOD, your LLOQ, and then you'd have your raw RLU signals. So coefficient of variation is just is a percentage of the variability in the tray or in the plate, and you would just turn that as a percentage. And then the LLOD stands for lower limit of detection. So the lower limit of detection is basically it's able to detect it and how well it's going to be able to detect it. And then the LLOQ stands for lower limit of quantification, and then that's going to give us an accurate measurement of what's happening inside the wells. So after that, then you go on to your uh, the second, there's the young older races, for data. So if you look at the gray line, this line under here, that's the original. That's the original test that doctors are using for PPID. And the blue line is my new test, and it's more steeper and it's more sloped. So that showed us that a, a 20% reduction in the LOD. Here, this one, this is going to show your LOD and your LOD. So all it's showing is that this one is getting more sloped. So it's saying at 100 uh, picograms per milliliter, you're able to see this much of the concentration or the RLU. So I improved it by 29.7 reduction in a low limit detection and 34.7% in LOQ compared to the standard assay, the blood test that they use. I improved it. This whole method could be applied towards more cancer biomarkers, and they could base off this because ACTH is a biomarker. So I hope a doctor can pick it up and then they can go on do their own clinical trial, and maybe it could be used for cancer and detecting cancer and other tumors early on.
Very neat.
Okay, you guys have any questions? Cut it really short because I was only yes.
What did you?
So we just go straight to state for the agri-science fair. Yeah.
And it's next week.
So yeah,
Now.
we just go to Noblesville, Indiana. Yeah, it's in Indianapolis. Me too. Me too. Um, so basically, I knew I wanted to do another research project this year, and I had connections to. There's a professor at Middle Tennessee State University. Um, and I told her I knew I wanted to do another research project. I really, really enjoy this, and I need all of your knowledge on horses because she was the equine professor, and she gave me a ton of tips, and she helped me kind of create this. But she said you need to just go out there. You need to look at what you're most interested in. Go to read as many veterinary journals as you can. So that's exactly what I did, and I knew I was interested into the cancer part because I just thought that was interesting. So no,
Great.
we yeah we did the efficacy of calming supplements. I was taught, yes, I was taught. Yeah, it was a great help. Any other
You
questions?
did all the statistical analysis on that? Or?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I'd say, did you do all the statistical analysis, the deviations, and your?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very impressive. So.
Well, something like that. I'd like to go into research, equine research. A lot of my research, yeah, yeah. So I use our school's equipment. So we have a centrifuge, we have pipettes, and then we had to purchase a lot of them. A lot of, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I had to buy all of it. It came from some wild places across, but they're able to get it shipped. Really? Well, that's exciting. That's cool. But yeah, so we went to Western Kentucky University to do this, but it was a struggle because the original plan was to do it at UE because they had the equipment, and then they backed out on us because their machine broke. So then I talked to like the animal testing facility, Middle Mount Vernon, or AstraZeneca. I mean, I searched high and low everywhere. I was on plan A, B, C, and then I got to LHZ. So like we went we were gonna go to Purdue and do it, but it was way too far. But Western Kentucky had what we needed, so we were able to get the project done. I put
You went-
into my junior year.
You're at going.
I'm no, I'm a sophomore. I'm a sophomore. I'm going into my junior year.
Great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You
Go through that a couple more times.
Okay, I'll let Thomas.
I'm Lewis Allen. I'm a recent graduate of Mount Vernon High School. Operation overview real fast before we get into the big things. They diversified farming. So they grow grain crops and then they feed them to their cows. So it's diversified grain. And current crop and livestock system. Most of the grain that is grown is fed to the cattle and the extra is sold. Now, value added agriculture, since we were able to walk the grain off the farm, by meaning feeding it to our cattle, we were able to give our efficient business structure. We aren't this business is not in a deficit for assets, so it's efficient with its assets and not overly doesn't have too much assets to pay off, so it's not business. The businesses it's into four businesses are companies. Equipment, they own all the equipment. Foreman holds all the grain and infrastructure. The multi grows the crops. Uh, And this just shows how the business flows. Fat cattle and moldy grain own nothing but the crops and the cattle, all the land, infrastructure from pork, and then put stuff to those. But as most farms, the moldy grain it doesn't own all of its land, so it still goes to other landlords and tenants to be able to. Uh, fully grain here in corn and soybean production, and then to the cost, so that straight to the cost. Then also on the other category, I made bushels. It just goes to show that the first 64 bushels you grow corn go straight to the floor. So if you don't have a very 35 are going expected yield of 240. Bars. Per acre. 1,000 per acre. Means $1. But um, sold all to the cattle and then break over a little over $1 million. That way, and we're so worried about sheets here. We made some balance sheets to show that the business structure and why it's divided onto multiple different people that are in the farm will own the equipment. So all the family over fat cattle and book bank fat cattle is 1.7 million. Thank you guys for your time. So do you guys have any questions?
This is legit business you're running.
No. It's like a hypothetical business, but
Hypothetical.
we put the numbers to it, so it's like those are realistic numbers.
You could do it if you wanted, if you.
Yeah. We got from like
Got
mostly
it,
through the
okay.
USDA county averages and stuff like that.
So it looks like, you were using cash rent. Do you see much in thirds, 2/3, the way farmers split anymore, or is it all cash rent?
Well, for this project, we did more cash rent. It's easier to put the number to. Third share crop is kind of harder, but then also with the beef cattle operation,
Yeah.
that's also more difficult. But everything that the beef cattle were fed, even the bedding, all came from the moldy grain. Yeah, but those are all fake businesses. We just made them up and put the
I didn't
numbers.
want to underestimate you guys.
But they are.
I wasn't sure.
I know, I like the names you guys. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions?
Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for the presentations. Very inspiring stuff. All right. We'll move into the meeting portion. We have Mr. Williams joining us by video conference. So we will be engaged in a roll call vote tonight, and we will move into recommended actions.
Hey, is it okay to go ahead and take A and B together?
Yes, it is.
And we have provided you with the minutes from the May 18th meeting, and also we have vouchers, checks 409699 through 410070, and 147846 through 147907, and electronic transfers ET003440 through ET3448. I know this is normally your part that you read, and I guess I just decided I'd go ahead and do it today for you. But we're recommending both of these actions tonight.
All right. We will take up A and B. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the May 18, 2026 meeting as prepared or as correction? And is there a motion to authorize payments of payroll checks 409699 through 41007? Voucher checks 147846 through 147907, and electronic transfers ET003440 through ET003448 as recommended. Voided payroll and voucher checks not listed on the voucher listings in the above sequences are not approved for payment by this action.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bessetti, seconded by Mr. Isaacs. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, is Mr. Williams, can you hear us okay? Okay. All right, we will move to a roll call vote. Ms. Bessetti?
Yes.
Ms. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Williams? And those measures pass. Have no unfinished business, so we'll move to new business.
We have the following resignations: Fletcher Cook, English teacher at the high school and yearbook sponsor; Brett Gale, custodian at West Elementary; and Kenda Hensley, elementary teacher at Mars Elementary School.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the resignations effective immediately unless otherwise indicated from the list as read by Dr. Stewart?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Isaac, seconded by Ms. Butler. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, we'll move to the roll call vote. Ms. Bessetti?
Yes.
Ms. Butler?
Yeah.
Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Williams? All right, and then we have some employment recommendations.
We do Amber Nation for Information Systems Manager; Macy Potter, elementary teacher at West Elementary; Morgan Rieger, assistant coach for volleyball at the junior high; Natasha Schmitzer, assistant coach girls soccer at the high school; Miranda Winesapple, elementary teacher at West; and Amy Winninger, math teacher at the junior high.
All right, very good. Is there a motion to confirm the employment from the list as read by Dr. Stewart?
So moved.
Nope.
You can
Okay,
have
we're
it
going
all.
to give that to Ms. Butler. Mr. Williams, you're second. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
Nope.
Seeing none, we'll move to the roll call vote. Ms. Bessetti?
Yes.
Ms. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Williams? Motion carries. And we have some meetings we need to approve.
Audrey McGahee will attend the CS and AIPD next week in Bloomington, Indiana on June 14th through the 19th, 2026. And Lindsay Schmidt is to attend the Secretary's Professional Learning Network in Jasper, Indiana on July 30th, 2026.
Is there a motion to adopt a resolution permitting personnel listed to attend educational meetings?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Mr. Isaac, seconded by Ms. Bessetti. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Ms. Bessetti?
Yes.
Mr. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Isaac?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Williams? All right, then the motion. And then we have some summer camps, RA summer camp.
We have enclosed the information regarding a planned summer skills camp for 2026. Coaches have been conducting camps for several years. They are responsible for conducting the camp, as well as for setting and collecting fees, advertising of the camp, etc. The fee collected by the presenters goes directly to them, And from these fees, they pay for they pay for expenses plus salaries involved. The district does not charge for the use of facilities.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the use of facilities for summer camps for 2026 as recommended?
So moved.
Second.
It's made by Ms. Butler, second by Mr. Isaac. And then the dates will have,
Yes, Kathy, those are June 10th. Is that correct? For the soccer,
yeah, that starts at,
15 to 18. Sorry.
that's fine. We'll see them. Okay, any other comments or questions? And then we'll move the roll call vote. Ms. Vasesic,
Yes.
Ms. Butler,
Yes.
Mr. Isaac.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Williams. And the motion carries. All right, we've reached the point on the agenda where we have comments or questions from delegations or citizens. Lois?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Oh, great. Maybe just a little teaser, maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Right.
sure. That's great. Yeah.
I haven't been out there in a few weeks. Have you been out there, Alyssa? I don't think so. No, we discussed that, but I think that's pushing it too fast. So I think he's going to wait until closer to the fall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. It's we purchased it. We are still working through our new building projects and just getting everything lined up with the architectural company and the attorneys. And we really don't have anything new to report on that. We're just moving through that process and uh, initial plans for that. So we will be communicating about that regularly, though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're going to move on. We'll have some yeah, we'll have it was a senior prank. That's what I'll say. And nobody was hurt. Nothing was damaged. No, not at all. Might have been a little bit of cleanup, but there wasn't nothing that cost any money to clean up or repair. There were not drugs stolen. That is all rumor. Yeah. No, we were good. Nothing. It was just a mess. That's what we'll say. That's right. I might be camping out here next year on that night, but no, I'm not doing that. No, I think we're gonna beef up our alarm systems.
Hmm.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 But we're moving on. We're glad to provide some entertainment.
Anyone else? Anything else? Paula? Nope. All right. I don't think there's anything from non-staff
Mhm.
communications. Okay, from the superintendent.
Just that our cafeteria supply bids are in and we're processing through that. And as soon as we know more, we will report out on that.
All right. Any other questions from board members? Nope. We'll move to future business. If you will go ahead and take us on out, please.
Sure. So we'll be back here June 15th at same time, 5:30 p.m. And then July 6th. Our office is closed on the 3rd. Is that correct, Kathy? So the AO will be closed on July 3rd, just in case anybody wanted to come visit us that day. And then we'll be back here on July 20th again. And actually, after that, we have a couple policies, special education policies that we are going to introduce to the board and bring back at the next meeting. But they're just standard policies that we need to make sure we have in place. So
We're working on some handbook updates.
we are working on
Yes.
an employee handbook, and this is the time of year we really can look through our policies and make sure that they're up to date and they are in compliance with the different statutes. So.
All right. Anything else from any other board members?
Nope.
Mr. Williams? All right. And we stand adjourned.